Afternoon, guys. So I am out here without the boss today to apply lime to our accounts. But this video, if you keep watching it or fast forward to it, maybe halfway through it, will be about pruning the crepe myrtle in our yard. It hasn't been pruned since we've rented there for 5 years. And it's pretty overgrown and it really does need to be cleaned up. So I'll show you guys how to do that if you keep on watching. But right now I'm gonna go out and put lime down. These are actually maintenance apps that we're putting down. We put one bag covers 10,000 square foot, so we'll put it in the hopper and spread it out that way. If you're trying to correct the lime in the soil, you do 5,000 square foot per bag if you're using the stuff that I'm using, and I'll show you what we're using. So we're starting the season doing all of our prunings, and we'll be out pretty much every day except for if it's a bad weather, and we will start putting pre-emergents down. I am going to go with granular with a pre-emergent. We're going to start putting that down the second week of February. So for now I'm going to go ahead and lime these yards, and then we'll be back at the house to prune the crepe myrtle some. So this is what I'm using this year. It's enhanced calcium booster with calcitic lime. It tells you right here what to apply at 5 to 6 pounds per 1,000 square foot, which is what I'm doing. And then if you want to correct that, it's 10 to 12 pounds per 1,000 square foot. But I'm doing this one, and this lawn I'm about to do is 12,000, so I need a bag, and then I need to split this up. So okay, let's get that done. We're gonna put lime down on. I just want a video to see how the progress goes when we come back in a couple weeks to do the pre-emergent, once the weather starts to warm up. So let me get this done. So I finished that last one. I ended up using 60 pounds of lime for 12,000 square feet. Set the spreader at 16, I think it was, and that was perfect. Maybe just a little bit more than 5.5, 6 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So now I have my setter spreading for lime. If I want to be at 10,000, if I want to be at 5 to 6 pounds per square feet, per 1,000 square feet, I have it now with my spreader. I just know it's number 16, and then you just walk at your normal pace. But I have 2 more to do, and then we'll get back home and do the crepe myrtle pruning. It's turning out to be a nice day. It's 47 degrees. Now tomorrow we're going to do 2 prunings and lime some more yards. We're slowly doing our lime for the next 2 weeks, and then our pre-emergence we'll put out in the second week of February. But let me go ahead and get this done. I've been using the new job, not the new Jobber app. We've been using Jobber for the last year for billing and invoicing and everything. I started putting an actual schedule in this year because we're going weekly and bi-weekly for some people. But I started putting a new schedule in, and we've got these scheduled to do lime, and it's easy. I can put start time and my finish time, and it tracks my time from when I get in the truck or out of the truck, finish the job, and back in the truck. That's when I do it. And then I can track and see what my hourly rate ends up being and how close I am with all the fertilizers and all the projects we do. So let me get this done, and then we'll get to doing the crepe myrtle. So we're done. I'm done this one lime, and this one I had to blow off the sidewalk. You don't want to leave lime or any fertilizer on these sidewalks. We did this job 2 years ago. Not bad. You have your candy tuft growing in nice. Those are dianthus, lavender, rhododendrons, Japanese maples. We did all in here. We did what are these? Spruces. These, why am I having a brain fart? But all this we planted all the way around here. So all in here. There's the rose bushes. These ones, spruces. I know I'll remember with nandinias. The nandinias we planted. We designed all this and did all the beds all the way around here. So, and all around the deck we did all these beds. All this was clay soil. We amended the soil when we planted, but it came out nice. Not one plant died. I was very happy. So let's go lime this last one, and we might be doing topsoil in here eventually. Hey boss.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
So I went out and did lime. I explained that you didn't come with me today.
Yeah, you guys didn't see me.
Because Chase was sick.
I stayed home with a kid.
But
so.
the boss is going to record me showing you how we prune a crepe myrtle. I was about to say.
No, we're not going to do that today.
How we prune a crepe myrtle and some of the techniques. Now, this one hasn't been pruned in forever.
Yeah, like years. Because,
if it's ever even been pruned.
Yeah,
so.
I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure that they've pruned it at one point. But it definitely hasn't been murdered, because if it was, you would see
all the knuckles and stuff, right?
Yeah. Like in some places, I guess.
No, I don't see any cuts.
Just,
these are just where it was. It grew. So
yeah,
you would see like knobs really bad here.
Yeah, over like years and years. Like, see how this kind of is knobby? But this one's probably gonna come off.
But look, see all the mess down here. Yeah. So I'm gonna let the boss take over recording.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna use this. I'm not gonna use the pole saw or anything because I'm not doing much cutting up here. I'm gonna use this for the bigger branches and my fiskars for the smaller branches.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that's really all you should use when you're doing crepe myrtles, I think.
I don't have my arbor ladder because it's at the client's house.
Oh, we left it. So
when there is a proper way to prune crepe myrtle, I keep saying that word.
I know.
Crepe myrtles. When people say, and I don't mean to be mean, and I'm not saying you're doing it wrong, or I guess I am saying you're doing it wrong. When you cut the thing off like this at the top, just shear it across here, that's crepe myrtle. That's what they call it in the industry. That is a thing. Mm-hmm. A crepe myrtle too close to a house. Okay, then I understand the situation of hacking it down, or it's growing too far into a walkway because of the improper planting of where it should have been. Then you can do that.
So what I wonder is, why do people think it's okay to put a crepe myrtle that close to a house?
Yes.
When they wouldn't put an oak tree there.
No.
You wouldn't put a dogwood there.
No.
And it's the same thing. This is also a tree. This is not a shrub. There is not miniature crepe myrtles. From what I know anyway.
Yeah. I don't know any. They told one
there is absolutely different varieties.
Yes, there is different varieties, and another company told one of my clients that the ones he had were miniature ones, and they were always cut down here. They had trunks like this wide on them.
Yeah.
And they were rotten and dying because it's not a miniature crepe myrtle.
Yeah.
But we're going to show you how we do it, not the way you cut it at the top and do it that way. So how do you guys prune them? Do you crepe myrtle them, or do you do them the proper way?
Or do you think that crepe myrtling is the proper way? But I'm just curious, like I questioned, when did it become okay to plant a crepe myrtle that close to the house? When obviously you can see this tree is, 15 feet?
Yeah, probably 15 feet, and they get a lot bigger than that.
Right. So this is a baby right here, and that's still about 12 feet.
Yes.
So.
But what you want to do is come in here and get all these little suckers off here. See the little suckers? I mean, this one's going to come off completely, but it's things like this. You want to clean.
Yeah, look at this. Like
I'm going to cut these bigger rotten.
This has actually been left here, and you can see here.
It rubs on these branches.
Yeah, if it rubs on those branches, then at that point, you're then ruining.
And it can cause disease and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And you only need a few maybe 5. Some people do 3, 4, 5, 6 of these big leaders here.
Yeah.
So all these other little leaders here, you don't need them on the tree. This I'm keeping because I'm hoping it's just another tree that grew, and I'm going to dig it up and replant it somewhere.
Now, do you want to explain that sometimes that can happen?
Either from seeds dropping or from roots shooting up out of the ground from this main tree.
Right.
What it's doing is, it happens a lot when it's doing is trying to send new trees up.
Mm-hmm. So. Because it's stressed for some reason. Yeah. So if it's stressed
and
because
if you look, there's all this dead wood I'm going to cut out. So mainly you want to cut and clean all this stuff out of here. All this stuff you want to get cleaned out. Like, you would take this little saw. I'm going to take this one off here.
Yeah, because that's a sucker.
I will get it lower.
That's a sucker out of the ground.
Yeah. So I will get it lower and cut down here more, but right now I'm just trying to clear some stuff out of my way. And yeah, I can use a chainsaw, but
I sometimes think that using the handsaw,
bigger loppers.
Yeah, the bigger loppers is something that you could use on this, but I think you have more control sometimes over the cut. There's less chance of you know, pulling. Sometimes with the chainsaw, if you don't cut properly.
And they say you're supposed to leave it off about an inch off, so there's a collar on there. It's hard. You don't want to cut into these bottom ones. But so I'll go up, and if you look at this one, I'll prune this off right here. See that one right there? This, I'll probably cut this whole thing off because it's rubbing here. This one, look at, here's an example. See this?
Yeah.
See, look at it. Take the camera and put it between the, right here, look. I don't know if you can see that, but see all that disease down in there?
Oh yeah, see how that
when
happens?
They're touching and rubbing like this. So what I'll do is I'm gonna remove this
the one in the middle
whole thing here. So this whole thing I'm gonna remove out of here.
And hope that the other leader repairs itself. Plantings are very
resilient.
Resilient is the word that I was looking for. And they repair themselves as long as you're not abusing them
so look,
over and over again.
When I get this off, see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
When you don't get the crossing branches off, it can cause this here.
Yes.
And it could disease the plant.
This definitely isn't the best looking crepe myrtle. You can see that it does have some type of, it just hasn't been taken care of.
So I'll clean that up, but I wanted to show you, just get any crossing branches. When you come up to here, same thing is just thin these out here. You know, I'll probably take some more of these out, but you want to come up in here and get any dead, dying, and thin them out up here. But pretty much, and the proper time to prune crepe myrtles isn't now. It's about another 3 weeks closer to the beginning of spring.
Yeah.
Right before they're coming out of dormancy.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna go ahead in here and clear all the dead here, and you'll see what a big difference doing this does to the tree.
You want the loppers?
Oh, sure. You throwing things at me, boss?
Yes. Okay, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe.
And be happy, guys.
Or at least try.
Have a good So as you guys can see, it cleaned it up a lot more in here. Looks nice, airflow. You can see the crown of the tree down here now. This was let go, it was let to be grown too much without being pruned, even though it's in an area where it could just grow as much as it wants. But you can see where some of the stuff down here is grown into other parts and damaged the tree some. So I'm gonna go ahead and thin out through here more, cut a couple more of these branches off, like this one over here that's kind of dead right here, and then start thinning out up in the top. If you have any questions on all of this that you want to ask in the comments, or some advice, because we're not all experts in this, I do the best I can. I know that you shouldn't cut them off at the top, and I know that is going to offend some people in this video, but it is what it is. I mean, It's not going to bother me because it needs to be done the proper way. Only time you murder them is if they're like where they're not supposed to be planted, like you seen in the video before this. So if you go watch the video before this, you'll see that we had to kind of murder some at the top because they were planted in the wrong spot, a foot away from the house. So let's finish this. So, don't mind the dogs barking in the background. The kids are taking the dogs sledding on a sled. What kids do. There's Mellow, Jovial, Chase, and all them down there. But we ended up getting this. You see, I pruned all this out. Look how much nicer and cleaner it is down there. All this is nice and clean, not like this one. This, remember I said we're gonna try to dig that up. If it's not part of that tree, if it is part of this tree, we're just gonna cut it out and not use it at all. But there you go. And you could get, I left my arbor ladder back at a client's house, or I'd get up here and get more. But you see there's some more dead up in here. Just thin these smaller, tiny little things coming off, little branches coming off. Get up there and you can thin it out anymore. If you look at this tree, this thing should be able to grow a lot bigger and even hold these blooms if it's properly done. Over time, when you hack them down, they can't hold the blooms as good, and eventually it might take years, but eventually it will do damage to the tree. So there you go. That's how we prune a crepe myrtle. Look, you can see where all this damage from branches rubbing on each other from not pruning this. I should have pruned it a while ago, but it is what it is. So if you guys have any advice on pruning crepe myrtles, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. If you like to crepe myrtle them, put them in the comments below. No judgment. I just think that they need to be done properly unless they're right next to somebody's house. So then I understand it has to be cut or a walkway, but they grow to be beautiful trees. They can get 30 feet tall. I've seen ones 3 times the size of this with like probably 7, 8, 9, 10-inch trunks. They're really beautiful, the bark on them. But let me go ahead and wrap this up, get this cleaned up and put away, and we'll see. So you seen me do the crepe myrtle. It ended up pretty good. I mean, it hasn't been pruned in a while. I've said that a million times. But here's the garden for 2020. It's a mess still. We're going to do a time lapse of cleaning it all up, and over the next few weeks, we're going to get a video up of showing everything we got done in time lapse progress. And then when we start planting, we'll go ahead and we'll put that in our vlogs that we do daily. Now this year in the garden, we're going to try to set up a greenhouse so we can do starts instead of buying the plants. So we'll see how that goes. So remember guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, be happy guys, or at least try. Have a good night.